Hello students, Nirmala here. Today we will study about a society of states in France. As we can see in the figure, we can see boxes and certain things written in red, that is first state, second state and third estate. First estate clergy, second estate nobility, third estate we can see three boxes there. Number one, two figures are there: big businessmen, merchants, court officials, lawyers, etc. Peasants and artisans, they are more than number. Small peasants, landless labor, servants, etc. They are large in number. Let's study about this. As it is seen that the figure is showing us the system of estates in France, in the society of France, and how it was organized. French society in the 18th century was divided into three estates. The society of estates was part of the feudal system that dated back to the Middle Ages. Feudal system, we know landlords, they are not known as the feudal lords. The term old regime is usually used to describe the society and institutions of France before 1789. We will know about the first estate. As we can see in the picture, these are the clergy. Who are clergy? Clergy are the people who work in the church. First estate was of Catholic Church officials. The members of the first state, that is the clergy, enjoyed certain privileges by birth. What do you mean by privileges? Some advantages, exemption from laws or benefit, whatever you can call it. The most important of these was exemption. As we have already seen, I have told you that privileges means exemption. They were given exemption from paying taxes to the state, and we will see about that afterwards. Now we come to the second estate. As we can see here, high society people are seen here. Let's know who they are. The members of the second estate were the nobility who enjoyed certain privileges by birth. They were benefited by birth, means exempted from certain laws by birth, and nobility are the high class people, rich people who own land, etc. They enjoyed feudal privileges in the form of feudal dues, as we have seen earlier, or you have studied earlier, that landlords used to get feudal dues from the kings. They used to help the king with their army, and in return king used to provide them land, and they become the feudal lords. Now peasants were obliged to render services to the lord, to work in his house and fields. They were also exempted from paying taxes as clergy were. Now, people of first state and second state, they were exempted from paying taxes. And whom do we pay taxes? We pay taxes to the king. But they were exempted from paying taxes. Now we come to the people of third estate. As we can see here in the picture, poor people are there, mainly peasant and farmer. Big businessmen, merchants, court officials, peasants, landless laborers, and artisans were the members of the third state. As we can see, big businessmen to the peasant and landless labor, मतलब गरीब से लेकर अमीर तक सभी तरह के. They bore the burden of taxes. Earlier we have seen that people of third estate and second estate were exempted from paying the taxes. All the taxes the people of third estate had to pay. Peasants made up about 90% of the population. As we can see, large number of peasants were there. Always there are poor people more and rich people less. However, only small number of them on the land they cultivated. It means large number of people were working in others' field. They had to serve in the army and to participate in building roads other than serving the nobles. Earlier we have seen they had to work in the field of the nobles or do household chores. Taxation. As we can see here in the picture, 3 persons are there. One is lying down on the ground and 2 are standing atop him. These 2 are clergy and noble, and the person lying is the belong to the third state. The burden of taxes was borne by the members of the third estate alone and had to pay taxes to state and the church. Means 2 type of taxes they had to pay, one to the state and other to the church. Church extracted taxes from the peasants called tithes. It was 1/10 of the agriculture produce. The amount of produce which the farmer get, out of it 1/10 they had to pay as the taxes to the church, and the name of the tax is tithes. The members had to pay direct tax called tally to the state. So what we have seen, 2 types of taxes are there. Tithes they have to pay to the church and tally to the state, and that is the direct tax. A number of indirect taxes which were levied on articles of everyday consumptions like salt or tobacco, and this tax also they had to pay to the state. Now we come to know about the subsistence crisis. What is subsistence crisis? An extreme situation where the basic means of livelihood are endangered. जब हमें जीवन जीने के लिए जो छोटी छोटी चीज़ें चाहिए वो भी हमें नहीं मिलती है, ऐसी स्थिति को हम subsistence crisis कहेंगे. What are the basic requirements? Food. Number 1, that is food. The population of France rose from about 23 million in 1715 to 28 million in 1789. The demand for food grains increased. Low production of grains increased the price of bread, which was the staple diet of the majority. When the population increases, food demand of food grains also increase, and this was the tough condition that the France had to bear. As the owners of the workshops fixed wages of laborers, wages did not keep pace with the rise in prices. What does it mean? The prices were rising, but the wages were not, because the wages had been fixed by the owners of the workshops where the laborers worked. So the gap between the poor and the rich widened. Rich became more rich, and poor became more poor. Thank you. Have a nice day.